The following movie is rated PG-13.
Looks like we got some brand used hubcaps. This luxurious 1976 Ford LTD. Welcome to RCindustry. Well, hey, it's Rick here, and by golly, she warmed up to about 48 degrees. It's beautiful out, but boy, it's still kind of chilly. So I got my old jacket on. But yeah, let's drop the oil in this thing, and we'll do a couple things. We're going to take the valve cover off that we've already had loose, and we're back there where that one rocker arm and all that's clicking because I don't think that hydraulic lifters are pumping up like it ought to. And we're going to see if we can scrape some of the junk out of that push rod tube, maybe put a little, I don't know, penetrating oil all down in on that to loosen some of that up. Then we're going to drop the oil and the filter. I bought a cheap filter to put on there, and then we're going to put half transmission fluid and half diesel fuel in there, and we're going to start this beast up and let it run up until it gets warm. And see what happens. It'll either quiet down or it won't. All right. Thanks for coming along. Show you more. Okay. I don't know. Found on road dead. Yeah, I'm thinking that today. Oh. Okay, well, let's take this thing here and see if we can zip these out of here a little bit. We need to take the valve covers off both sides of this, because whoever has been modifying on this, yeah, get it? 351 modified? Yeah, okay. Whoever's been modifying on this from factory has plugged up the PCV system on it. And the other side that has the grommet on the other side is all broke off and laying down inside the valve cover. So we know we got to fix that. So, yeah, we just got to do a couple things. We'll get it. Alright, let's lay that down right there. Let's see if we can get this off of here. Oops, there's our oil pressure gauge, which we need to mount inside the cab. And here's our old sensor for the water temperature. That's not hooked up. That's handy. Okay. Alright, see, as I told you, it's a little cruddy on the inside there. But, yeah, well, we'll do something to it. Alright. Okay, so this is the one that's making the noise. And it's actually got some oil on it. But you see that it's loose in here. So is that the rocker arm that's worn out? You know, I mean, these got some movement in them, but it ain't like this. And that's torqued down because we checked that the last time. So I don't know. I still think we need to flush this thing out. But see, this is loose here. And it's supposed to have some movement. These move too, but not that easily. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if the rocker piece down in there is worn out, where it sits on this saddle. I don't know. But I'm convinced that there must be oil getting up in it, because the last time when we started up and drove it up here, there's oil sitting in it now, which there was not before. So, there's our noise we're hearing. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this rocker arm off. Now, I'm going to take this little pair of vice grips. I don't want to crush this thing back here, this push rod, but I want to hold on to it as best I can, because I don't want this falling down in there. Ask me how I know about that. I got the t-shirt for that. Did I say I had the t-shirt for that? So anyway, if we hold this down to where this push rod, even if it comes out of the lifter down there, it won't fall down into the underneath area under this intake manifold. So, and I got my handy dandy torque wrench here, so we're going to de-torque this, and it should be around 20. Yep, it was about 21 before it broke loose. Okay, let's just see what the heck we got going on. That thing, it'll have some movement, but it ought not have that much. That's an awful lot. So let's just see what we got here. Okay. There's a little doogie whopper there, that little oil dripper thingy. Yeah. She's kind of wallered out there. That thing is moving around in there. Alright, show you more. One of you all commented and said maybe I had a bent push rod, but I don't think that's the case. And it doesn't look really worn here. I mean, I've seen them be completely flat, so I don't know if it's open or not. Yeah, I can see light all the way through that, so it's not clogged up, so it should be getting oil up. So I tell you what I'm going to do is, just for comparison, we're going to pull the intake. We're going to pull the intake off of the next cylinder next to it, and we're just going to compare the rocker arms for play, because you can tell that this rocker arm's got a lot of play in it, in this place here. And if you look here, that's got a pretty good sized place there, but that one is worn almost flat. So you tell me down below what you think. But this part doesn't look bad, other than it's dirty, and I'm going to clean it up. But anyway, I don't think it ought to move back and forth like that so much. So, but we're going to take the next one off, the next intake up this way off, which would be whatever cylinder that is. You Ford people know better than me. So anyway, it's the next intake up, and we're going to compare it with this one. All right, show you more. Okay, so I took my mic here, and such as it is, and I've checked the position between this one and this one. So here and here, we're about 14 thousandths on both. They're real close. They're within 10 thousandths. So, or whatever, one half of a mark on that thing. And I checked our deck tolerances here, and all of that seems to be the same. And actually, after I cleaned this up, I realized this is not quite as worn as it was. So I think we just got a case of that one lifter is either got some gunk in it and is not pumping up tall enough, or something. That's the only thing I can figure. So let's spray some junk down in there, change this out with some diesel fuel and ATF, and fire this mother up. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this high temp assembly lube stuff, and I'm going to put that down on these wear places, and I'm going to go ahead and put some up in these areas. And I'm going to put this back together like she come out, and we're going to torque it down to 22 foot-pounds, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, I'm going to get this put back together and I'll show you more. Now I still got my vice grip on that because I want to make sure I got that push rod seated all the way down in there. I feel like it is, you know, but trust me, I do not want to drop that down in there. So I've got the coil off. I don't want it to start. I just want to roll it over a couple times and get some movement out of that and make sure that that is seated down in there properly. So you watch that for me. Well, that seemed like that was doing all right. I will tell you that packing that with some grease in there like that, it took that slop out of it. And I did the same with this one. So, but, you know, anyway, okay, I'm going to spray some penetrating oil down in that area, and then I'm going to put the valve cover back on it. We're going to drain the oil and the filter, and then we're going to put our solution in it we talked about, and we're going to fire this mother up. I don't know why I keep saying that. I think that's because that one guy I watch on YouTube is always saying that. So anyway, we're going to start this thing up, hopefully. All right, show you more. At this point, I don't see what this is going to hurt. Put a bunch of that down in there. See if we can go down that way. And just put a few in there. Why not? Yeah, heck yeah. Got the head of the valve cover off. All right. Now, one thing I like about these old Fords is that drain plug is right there, and if you look right there, there's the oil filter. So all you got to do is put a pan under it, and you can pull them both, and they'll drain, and you don't have to worry about it running down the manifold, and you know, taking two different pans, and you know, this is definitely a better idea. Okay, well, this plug I don't think is the original one because it's a metric. It's a 1.5, and it's got all this thread tape around it, and the threads are real scratchy. And yeah, I'd say somebody's been into this. Hopefully the oil pan is not stripped out. So all right, show you more. Well, as you know, it's always something. So this thing had a microguard on it, which is, you know, that's O'Reilly's brand there or whatever, or at least that's around here. And that's what I bought to put on there for this temporary flush job. So, but if you look at this, it's not very dirty, really. The oil isn't. So I suspect that after someone lost the drain plug, which is what I've come to the conclusion of, because the threads down in there look good in the oil pan, but this is obviously not the right size. So, because it really doesn't want to thread in there, and when it does, it never tightens down. So I've got to try to source an oil drain plug. And I like to never got that filter off because someone had torqued that thing to about 700 foot-pounds. But I did use my fancy dancy little thing here, and that got it off there. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a little ATF into this filter and screw that on for now. But I think we're going to have to end this video for today because I'm going to have to source that drain pan plug and get it all said, and I'm not sure where I'm going to get one of those. I'm going to go down to O'Reilly's and see if they can help me out. It's a pretty good O'Reilly's we have here in town. So anyway, so thanks for coming along. Thanks for sharing. We still ain't got this thing running, but we're going back together for this flush job, and we're going to get that done hopefully on the next episode. Thanks for coming along. Be sure and like and share. We're almost at 1,000, so thanks for all the subscriptions that you guys have, or you know, hitting that button and you know, subscribing. That's what it takes. Our watch hours are high. I think we got 77 or 78% of you that watch. don't subscribe. So, but you're watching the videos, so I would just ask you to, it's free. I mean, yeah, you probably got to have an email address and blah, blah, and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, it's not costing you anything. So, anyway, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and smash that button and turn the bell on, too, so you get notified of when we work on the old la-ti-da the next time. All right, guys, we're making it just like brand used here, baby. Run, Tallulah, run!
Hi, baby.